Hello, howdy rowdy Cub Scouts. Hope everyone's doing a good Saturday. Well, I guess it's early afternoon for me. I'm a bit used to these being a bit early in the morning, but that was destroying me because I have the sleep schedule of an actual rodent. So we're doing it in the early afternoon. So happy early afternoon to the Cub Scouts, checking out the VOD, checking out the chat on the stream. And yeah, I'm excited to bring another chill stream, do some D&D map making. What is the plan for this floor? I talked about it a little bit on the description. You can probably see it there, and maybe a little bit on the Twitch announcements. But for this stream, we're going to be covering some of the final rules that we have on some of the final rules that we have on our big mechanics sheets. Let me see if I can bring that up. Hey, there we go. And that would cover the big ones that I wanted to talk about is the environmental hazards, specifically the suffocating and drowning thing, which kind of ties into the mounted / underwater combat. I said ignore this, but we actually found some time to do it on the 4th floor. And we're going to be talking about some NPC interactions, which I believe is basically this whole section here, which for the most part was not covered at all unless you consider the conversations with the goblin boss on the 2nd floor, where there was a little bit of possibility, but it wasn't explicitly covered or really focused on any particular floor. So we're going to try to combine these two, and those are really the big mechanics that we're doing. Role-playing interaction, suffocating, drowning, and the mounted underwater combat. We're going to be talking about underwater combat specifically. And all the other items we had here are sort of things that you eventually sprinkle when a particular situation or dice roll calls for it. So, you know, for example, if your players go deep enough into a dungeon that traversing between them becomes, you know, long enough or tedious enough that you need to go for sort of long-term travel rules. That's when you bring in things like pace time and things like that. When you are having rests, at some point your character is going to take short rests or long rests. You can explain at that opportunity how food and water works, how sleeping works, your hit dice, things like that. But we can't really I mean, we could, but we probably shouldn't design a floor that, in a sense, forces the players to rest. That will be a bit more organic when you actually play the game. And then we've got, you know, certain speed types. We're going to be talking about this, about swimming soon. Then we have combat conditions, which is going to be going one at a time. We go over some combat conditions like surprise, grappling. We kind of go over hidden, assuming that the players took a stealthy approach on you know, the 2nd floor. And the only action we haven't handled was the dash action, which we'll probably have covered during any particular combat. We're definitely going to cover here because the players are at least my intention for the design is to have the players move quickly through water. And so for them to move quickly, their best bet is going to be using a dash action. So that's how we're going to do it. Dying and death saving throws. This will happen whenever the players get, you know, whenever players hit 0 HP, whatever often that takes. Or if you really want to go over these rules without forcing the players to go unconscious, then you should, for particularly powerful enemies, like the goblin boss or anyone else, you could use the dying and death saving throw rules for them as well. Normally, enemy NPCs, when they go down to 0 HP, they either get killed or knocked out instantly. There's like no dying stage. There's no way to stabilize or anything like that. But you can use player character rules for NPCs if you think that they're powerful enough that they might survive, or that you have designed an encounter where there are healers and you want them to be able to bring back people who have gone down, things like that. You could consider using these rules. for those in order to also help explain those to your players. So the short version is you go to 0 HP and you're dying, and every turn after that you roll a death saving throw. If you roll under 10, you get a failure. If you roll exactly a 1, you get 2 failures. If you roll 10 between 10 and 19, it's success. And if you roll 20, you get back up immediately with 1 HP. If you get 3 successes, then you stabilize and you're done rolling. If you roll 3 failures, you're dead. And that's basically it. Whenever you come back, you lose any of your progress from before. So death saving throw failures and successes don't stack between encounters or things like that. All right. So that's the shortness of this, which again, we're not really going to cover, but I feel like I should probably bring it up at least a little bit since we're not really covering it. And it will probably be important eventually, but you can easily look it up when that situation arises. Moving on, we want to talk about the actual map. How is that map going to work? So what I want to do is we're going to design a new floor plan, and we're going to go ahead and do some interaction between 2 floors, because in the second floor we actually introduce an aquatic creature, these crabs here, with this small lake, and we didn't really touch on it. It was just like a cute little aquatic environment set piece. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have this area here connect to a deeper part of the floor. So here's how it's going to work. We're going to go ahead and create another floor, and we're going to try to add kind of like this verticality layer to the floor. How are we going to do that? Well, first, let's go ahead and get some dimensions right. I think what we're going to be looking at is something along the lines of between 40 to 60. I think we're going to look along these lines. So it's got like the same perimeter as our third floor. The volume's a little low. I'm going to lower the volume just a little bit. Just a little bit. There we go. So we're going to go ahead and have the same perimeter as our third floor, but with a little bit more area. So this makes the travel a bit more freeform, less linear. And we're going to just draw a quick floor plan. So what I want to do is I want to cover the areas we want to talk about pretty succinctly. So if I use freehand, just hit the GM layer. Let's say the players are going to... So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the players start on... Let's have the players start on one of the sides. And there's going to be a big lake area here. So let's draw it. What I'm going to do is you're going to have an entrance here. And I want them to have a gate, which is manned by some NPCs, because again, the first thing I'm going to want to focus on in this floor is going to be the NPC interaction. Then this will lead into a large sort of conclave where the NPCs live as a sort of like communal tribe. And then what I want to do is try to set up basically a water section that they can go into that sort of expands into a sort of exploration section. What I want to do is make sure that the actual rules of water work. I don't want to have a lake that then goes up, because that would just cause the water to splurge out. Those rules need to actually stay succinct. So what I think we're going to do is we are going to have a rushing waterfall internally. So the way it works is there is going to be a sort of waterfall near the edge of the conclave. And when you go into this waterfall, it's going to actually send you down into a big sort of underwater cavern. And then that underwater cavern will sort of expand outward a little bit, like so. And then we're going to try to have, I'm going to try to have 4 major destinations. We're going to have a section, I'm going to say here. So I'm just going to draw it here ahead of time. That would eventually have the gate that leads to stairs that you would go down. And that would be the sort of exit. Then I want to go further along, like a sort of narrowed down section here, maybe a branching path. Let's have 2 actually. Yeah. So we're gonna have 2 paths here. One's gonna be in an area here. I'm gonna go ahead and remove this drawing. Whoops, I didn't want to delete the whole thing. I just want this. They're getting mad at me for not wanting to get rid of the other one. Just this one, thanks. Okay. Boom, something like that. Not too concerned about the exact situation. But we're gonna have 2 major areas. And the first area is going to be a path to floor 2, which sort of brings us circle to the excuse me, which brings us, oh, let me, whatever, it's an arrow. This is gonna be floor 2. And another area here, which will bring us to a sort of, you know, like a secret treasure area that I want to have. And the reason why is just because I like having some secrets. And also, we're going to have a little bit more NPC interaction there, perhaps. So that's our 3 main areas. And then, finally, what I'm going to do is around here, maybe a sort of big bump like that, there's going to be a current that brings you up. And that current's going to sort of connect through this waterfall. So you have this sort of lake situation where the water is currently being pulled up by some current and being forced back down by this waterfall. And so if you imagine a current that pulls you up, you know, as high as you would go on the 2nd floor, and then it goes along this sort of linear passageway, which we won't map, you know, thoroughly, since the actual section there doesn't matter. It's going to be a dark, cavernous opening that is just filled with rushing water, and then it forces you back down, you know? So water constantly goes up, water constantly goes down, and that keeps everything else here level without flooding the other floors, right? And so we're going to look at something like this. And then every so often, like maybe here and here and maybe here and here, we're going to have little pockets of air so that the players, when they're exploring the water area, can move somewhere without drowning. And we'll see how much we need to deal with that, how many, you know, pockets of air we really want to care about. Based on their constitution and the rules for swimming, and I'll go over that. Maybe there'll be even less pockets of air. We probably don't need this many pockets. We probably only even need like 1 pocket of air. We'll see. But this is what it's going to look like. And now that I think about it, this is probably too small. For the scale of swimming that I want us to go, I think we're going to double this. So it's actually going to be a very, very big map. Maps with very large dimensions may load slowly or not at all. Let's cut it a little bit. I don't want to break roll 20. Oops. So instead of 80 by 120, we'll do 60 by 90. That should be okay. And we'll take everything here and just expand it a little bit. Yes. something along these lines. There we go. Okay. And now we're going to go ahead and actually map this out. So let's hit our map layer. And because the first section is going to be like a sort of living tribal space, but because it's being it's defined by this natural waterfall feature, I'm going to try to make the rock outcropping a little bit more natural. And so it's going to be less like manufactured, the floor and the walls like you might have seen in floor 3. So we're going to find some stone textures that we're going to get to use. And I want to use stone here. I'm going to try to find a texture that looks wet. Yeah, definitely don't want something that like is dirty. There is a stones overlay. Let's see. I kind of like this little cobblestone section here. It's not quite as natural as I was hoping for. Oh wait, I like this. I like this flat stone. If I zoom in, this is the texture we're looking at, and I kind of like this because the rocks still seem very like haphazardly placed. Like it's not clearly manufactured, but it is smoothed out by the erosion of the water. So we're going to use this as a basis for our floor, at least for the actual tribal area. We're going to start slapping this everywhere. There we go. Alright, and our last one goes here. Well, we could do that, but we'll just do this. And then we can fill the rest of this in. And so, because we are doing an underwater theme, in addition to this sort of NPC interaction theme, the plan for our NPC, we're going to focus on an aquatic race. We're going to do Merfolk. Some Merfolk peeps, and we're gonna tie this into floor 2 in more than one way because we had those crabs from before, and we're going to have an interaction between the Merfolk and the players, and we're going to be tying in the starting attitudes of the Merfolk, you know, collectively or with their leader, however you want to handle it, depending on their social structure. And their starting relationship with the players is going to depend on how the players handled the crabs that were being hunted by the goblins in the second floor. The idea is that if the players were, you know, particularly nice to the crabs and were friendly to them and saved them, then the Merfolk will be friendly to them, which will make going through this floor a lot easier. If the players, you know, just ignored the crabs, generally speaking, or even if the players, the players basically ignored the crabs or just didn't do anything particularly noteworthy about them, then probably the Merfolk will start off indifferent. And these are tangible, like, systems, social status systems within the rules of D&D. So these are the sort of rules that we're trying to explain with this floor. There we go. And then for the underwater section, let me see if I can find a waterfall. I'm going to try to get all the little floor textures out, the features out before you know, before I start handling all the walls. Okay. There's not a whole lot when it comes to waterfalls, oddly enough. Huh. I'm surprised that Forgotten Adventures doesn't have a waterfall section, but I'm sure we can find something that will work well for us. They don't have anything great for just something referred to as water. But I know we had like a lake section that we can draw on because we used it for our oh really? All right, let's look at floor 2 to see what texture we used here. Is there a word for this? Oh man, if only I remember what this was called. Because we definitely used this, and I kind of want an ocean like this. See? It's definitely there. I wish I remember what it was called. Also, we are on floor 4. Thank you. Would it be... It won't be on their pool, would it? No, I'm seeing an actual pool table instead of actual water. Maybe I need to look for river? Yeah, I probably need to look for river. Every so often, we'll go back to map making and I'll forget some of the important keywords. There it is. Okay, river is what we want. So now I need to find something that will be fairly good for handling a waterfall. Actually, now that I think about it, I'm going to go ahead and remove this floor because we should remind ourselves the floor is not actually here. Okay. So we're just going around looking for a good option for what looks like free-flowing water. I kind of want to use a little bit of these ice chunks. All right, here's a patch. So we can use this to start things off. And what we'll do is we'll also layer another one. Is there a way to... Right, so there's not a whole lot when it comes to transparency. But I can add a lighter tint to this. Like so. But the idea that we can see that this water kind of makes a wave. And we'll put this in front. Like so. And then what I'm going to do... Oh, excuse me. Yep, let's get this reaching all the way outward. And we'll add a some chunks of ice, which is fairly transparent and is probably the closest thing I'm going to get to other fog effects that sort of give an indication of rushing water. So if we look at the ice chunks, and we shrink them, does that do anything for us? Yeah, maybe if we shrink them by a lot. I put it along the border, I think I am deluding myself. I'm definitely deluding myself. This is not what a waterfall looks like. Yeah, I think we will keep this the way it is. If I really wanted to, I could add another brighter section that goes over the... Let me see this. Let me try this. That doesn't look well set up. There is a green patch I could use. If I use a green patch and make this brighter, will that make things... Perhaps. So let's put this in front again. Get our green back. There you go. We have like a little foam effect. That applies when a waterfall hits a surface. Obviously, the waterfall continues past the floor, but some residual art is going to accumulate at the edge of the waterfall. So we have a little foam effect here that might work. We could even reverse this and the blue effect. Let's actually do that. I'm going to reverse this effect and swap out the green with the light blue because this has a bit more of a front to front, something like this. Let's put you here. Something like this. We could shrink this a little bit. Something along these lines. Alright, there we go. The foam effect's a little bit more noticeable here. Alright, so we have that. What else we want to add here? We can add like little huts and houses and such, since this is going to be a living space for Merfolk, but I don't want to do too much because even though they have spots that they're gonna, be having here, a good chunk of it's still gonna be the ocean itself. Let's see. Seems like it mostly has camps and stuff on. I mostly have camps and stuff in my library. Let's see. How do I want to design these? Gonna think for a second. Ponder a bit. We can do little puddles. That have a sort of depth to them. Things like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make these a bit bluer. I should probably be a little darker. How's this? Yeah, that looks good. We're going to have a few of these scattered around, and we're going to put little rock patterns. There it is. Rock wall. has sort of bounded. So it's going to be like little pools. And we're going to keep it small. And I don't know if this is a good texture for rocks. Ooh, there's rock end pieces. I'm just gonna put a bunch of rock end pieces together, like so. That's what a rock end piece looks like. What the heck? Is that true? Huh? Why is it so odd? I want a rock joint fix instead. That's what I want. Something like that. All right, I'm gonna start curving in. We're just gonna cover this so that we mostly have the puddle fully encapsulated by the wall. This is slightly tedious, but it's okay. What the? Oops. Oops. This thing's technically on top. Let's put this on front. In case we need to adjust it a little bit. We're almost done. Now, for full disclosure, this is going to be a bit of a shorter stream because I'm hanging out with some buds tonight. We're playing some party games. I'm probably streaming it. And so we're probably not going to finish this map today. But we'll definitely have some groundwork set. We'll definitely understand what the design's going to be. We'll finish it on the next stream. There we go. All right. Our first house is done. That took a while. So here's what I'm going to do. Instead of making new maps, oops, see? There you go. Instead of making a bunch of new walls every time, I'm going to cheat just a little bit. I'm just going to place this down like so. rotate it a little bit, and then replace it. Then do it again. This time I'll flip it. Ooh, okay. Flipping it did not do what I was expecting it to do. So we're gonna not do that. Can I expand this? Yeah, I can expand it just fine. So expand it, we'll rotate it, and we'll place it. Something like this. We're only gonna do a little. Well, we might do more in the next stream, but I want this set up. Where did the rest of my things go? Oh, I put them on top of each other. I'm a fool. That's okay. To back. And to back. And to back. So we can add more pools as we need. But we'll stick with this for now. It's a bit of an open space. We'll add more details. I'm going to be focusing on the floors and stuff. So now we're going to go over the actual water. And the way I want to handle the water is I want to make a sort of color-coded tier system to understand, you know, how deep the water goes and such. So what I'm going to do is let's get a river patch, because that is what they were called. And we're going to use blue since we used blue already. And I'm going to put these over here. And I'm going to have 3 different types. So the first is going to be, you know, normal water. Then there's going to be a brighter shade of water, which indicates that the water is getting higher. And then we'll have a darker shade of water to indicate that it is getting deeper. With the idea that like the light from the second floor is sort of escaping or reaching the top sections of the water but not reaching the bottom, things like that. And also any lights from patches of air or secret areas we want to add. That's why we have the light over here. And so let's go ahead and make us a bit of a map, just a mental note. So when we start, oh yeah, let's be in the GM map or GM overlay. When we start, this thing is going to draw us into the deep area, right? And then what's going to happen here is we're going to go ahead and calculate the speed for schmoving. So now's a good time for me to talk about how swimming actually works. So the way swimming works is pretty straightforward. You have a speed. Everyone has just a normal walking speed. Usually a player will have a speed of 30 feet. If you don't have a swimming speed, like you don't have any way to naturally swim, like you're not a merfolk or you have no aquatic features to speak of, then all water is considered difficult terrain, which means that you move at half speed. So if you move 30 feet during a normal movement, then you move 15 feet instead. As well, you have disadvantage on certain things like melee attacks and things like that. The important thing for movement, at least, is that you move at half speed in water if you don't have a swimming speed, which you usually don't unless you're some special type of aquatic race, or if you have some magic that allows you to ignore the effects of water, or that gives you a swimming speed. With that in mind, we can actually see how far it takes players to move a particular distance. Keep in mind that on their turn, they can use a dash action to move twice. So even though their movement speed is going to typically be 15 feet in a turn, they will probably be able to move 30 feet a turn, assuming that they're not in combat. That's going to be an important thing. So if I measure the distance where a player will get kicked out here, it's 80 feet here. which means if a player dashed for it, they'll make it in 3 turns. If that was an air pocket. Now, oh, I accidentally just went back. We'll reload that. The rules for suffocation is important. The way that works is you take your Constitution modifier, you add 1, and that's the number of minutes that you can move underwater without starting to suffer the effects of drowning. Now, the way that works, if you have a negative Constitution modifier, is you always get a minimum of 30 seconds. And every round is 6 seconds. So that means that for your average D&D character, who, for a player character, usually the Constitution is going to be around 12, so your average stat, maybe a little higher. They're going to get somewhere between 2 to 3 minutes. That's 20 to 30 rounds, you know? That's a lot. That's not nothing. So 20 to 30 rounds, if you have 30 movement speed, that's 900 feet. So if we measure the full distance, if we go from this pocket all the way to here, which is where floor 2 might be, and consider that floor 2, you're going to add like another like 30 to 60 feet because you're going up 2 whole dungeon floors. This is about the distance you're going to get to where you're going to start having actual problems, even if you have to dash every turn to make it. Then you got about the same distance here. And then if you are doing something like this, then you're making like 170, that's 240, 255, 260, about the same. You have to go around, you have to curve around here. So from here to any of these goals is going to take D&D players about as much time as possible to reach it if they got to dash every turn. Now, you can add your own house rules on, if you dash every turn, you run out of air faster. If you dash every turn, you might get tired. Things like that. There's no strict rules about that when it comes to swimming, but that is something that you can consider. So with that in mind, we're going to change things up a little bit. I'm going to try to minimize the number of air pockets we have. So here, here, and here. And the reason why I'm doing that is because this area where you go to the next floor, this area, these all also kind of act as pockets. So once you get here, it's fairly trivial to get to any other point and vice versa. The only problem is getting from your starting area to one of the 3 sort of important spots. And where was this again? This would be an air pocket. I'm trying to remember where this was. Oh yeah, this brings you back around. So this is actually a trap. This gives you no air. The challenge from this is going to come from if the Merfolk are hostile, then you may have to fight Merfolk in this area. And if you have to waste a lot of time fighting, you're not going to get all of your... You're not going to get all your turns to make your moves without starting to suffer the effects of drowning. So what we're doing is we're adding a single air pocket here, which is just an easy gimme. So anyone can make it from here to here. So if you're here and you're dicking around and you make a mistake, like you go back here and you're stuck here again, then you need to go to this air pocket. It's worth noting that because the waterfall's here, once you go inside, it's incredibly challenging for you to get back out because the waterfall is constantly rushing down. The idea is that once players go into this water, they're committed to this underwater segment until they leave, or until such an event that they make their way all the way to the first floor, climb up, and then walk back down here. So this gives us a perfect opportunity. Oh, and by the way, even after those minutes are up, you still get just a few more rounds to spare before you actually start to become dying and drown proper. All right. So that's all set up. With that in mind, we're going to go ahead and add our layers. We need this section to get brighter because this is our first air pocket. So we know that this spot is going to be, I'll refer to it as high water. I don't want to refer to it as shallow water because the water can have many layers. From here, you may be able to swim straight down. So you could be able to go from sort of the second floor to the third floor to the fourth floor, while still being in the same spot, you know, roughly in the same square. But we're gonna make this. There it is. Okay, we're gonna make this high water. Free hand, please. This is gonna be high water. This is deep water, which means that somewhere around here, I'm gonna say it's gonna be a bit closer. I'm gonna just do like a sort of normal water. So we have like a layer here, right? Then it goes deep, 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 deep. Maybe, I think this thing stays deep pretty much the entire way. Then we're gonna have probably an in-between segment here where there's sort of two cavern passageways, just because, you know, this makes it so that making an absolute straightaway like this, actually, we're gonna do something like this. So making an absolute straightaway is a little bit more complicated. Having this blockage here makes it very difficult for the players to go from here and just make a cut straight away to the exit without exploring anywhere else. We're going to make this area, and we're also going to add some changing depths here. So this will continue to stay deep water. This will continue to stay deep water, while this will become more normal water as it goes up. Then as the normal water goes here, then we get to high water. Eventually, you climb back up here. Worth noting that this is still kind of in sort of the second floor in terms of altitude, but it's so distant that it's not really part of any other floor. And then actually going down these steps is going to bring you very, very far down. That's how we're going to sort of bring ourselves to the fifth floor. We say fifth floor, but you can make it as high or as deep as you want, since it's going to be kind of really far away compared to the rest of the dungeon. Furthermore, this normal water kind of treads in a little here. This becomes sort of all normal water. Then we get, you know, we're going to have a very, very, very small pocket here, which is high water. And the actual amount of high water we are getting is based on floor 2, which if I see this is going to be like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 40, it's like 20 squares. If I make it that shape, it's actually, I'm going to make a mental note of this. Oh, I know what I'm going to do. I don't need to make a mental note of anything. I'm just going to draw the overall shape of this lake. And we're going to copy that into the other map so we can see roughly how big it is compared to our overall map. Something along these lines. Boom. All right, let's grab that. So we're looking at something like this, right? So based on this section, we're not going to have a high water that's exactly like it, but the deepest parts of this is going to be our high water. So based on that, I'm probably drawing a pretty straightforward circle that is going to be like 4 across, like this, and like that. There's our high water. All right, we can get rid of this. Boom. All right. Yeah, this section is all normal water. It's fine. And then I believe this will go back to deep, and then this kind of becomes quickly normal, quickly high, and we make our move. And this is less strictly important from a mechanical perspective. It don't matter if, you know, because if you're all the way on the top of the air pocket here, and your partner all the way on the deep end is fighting something here, then, you know, you're not adjacent to it. You would need to actually swim down quite a bit to reach them. But other than that, mechanical differences are mostly not relevant here, and it's mostly to understand what section of water we are going to use. So we're going to use deep water for this. Like so. And I'm realizing that there's actually not a whole lot of couching here. So let's do this. I'm going to make this a bit bigger. There you go. And I have to do just a little bit. Oh, whoops. How to do just a little bit of alting to not have it snap to grid, so it doesn't interfere with the actual waterfall proper. Which we will add a wall to this, by the way, so then you don't have to worry about it. All right, there we go. And I can kind of just enjoy myself here. There's a lot of deep water here that we're gonna add. This section is all deep water. And you can make a note in however you want to design your D&D map on, you know, how many combined layers there are here. Because this is deep, which just to me means that the water goes to the deepest possible level. It does not strictly mean that it's only the deepest possible level. Just like how in here, there's, you know, the water goes high, but obviously you need to be able to swim down. So there's obviously places where you can transition from being in high water to being in deep water. Okay. I know the repetition of these waves are maybe not the most pleasant looking, but it's going to be good for the map that we need. It serves its purpose. Remember, this deep water on the right here is going to also be our ticket to the sort of schmerge that will bring you to the other side. Ooh. Starting to load. Okay. So with that in mind, we should actually add something here, like wind or something to that effect, that will indicate that the water all the way to the right is moving a lot. I'm not sure how to do that. I think I might be able to do it with just some rocks, like loose rocks. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna add some pebbles. Is it loading? There it is. Okay. So what we'll do is we're gonna actually narrow this a little bit and focus our little pebble bits, which I will actually shrink even more, along here. And then maybe, ooh, there's even finer collections of pebbles. I like this more. Yeah, we're gonna do this. Whoops. Perfect. And there's just rocks here which we're gonna, block with a wall so the players don't have to see it. But when you come here, it'll be very clear that something special about this water, and then using, good narration, you can describe that debris from the ground. You can see it like pulling sedimentary materials up. You can see it sort of levitate. That's how you give off that this thing is going to suck you up and spit you out. if you go inside. All right, let's do that. Yeah, like so. All right. All right, so we have this. There's going to be some more deep water in this section. Let's go ahead and add that here. All right, then normal water. I'm going to have normal water go around this. And the high water will be a very, very small pocket. Something like this. And this literally goes back. Yes, something like that. Maybe even less. All right, back to normal water. Go. I'm going to go ahead and just cover this whole thing, and I will replace this with high water later. While I'm here, let me just connect these dots. It's going to look something like this. And like that. Oh, those were both map items. That's my mistake. Let's send those to the GM layer. Not that one. Oops, oops. There we go. Ooh, starting to freeze just a little bit. What the? It's not letting me move. This is what happens when I put way too many textures. All right, back to map layer with you. All right, that's all the sort of normal water, and then we'll add some high water. High water is pretty light. High water goes here. He's gonna fill this part in. We're gonna fill this with land later, not a big worry there. And then we're gonna add some, all right, so here's what we're gonna do. Let's put this high water here, like this. There you go. And then we'll cover it up with some normal water. I actually want this to look kind of curved, so this is going to be one of the few times I decide to actually rotate these things. Oop, Could probably do that for the other sections. Yeah, let's do that. So now we can use turns to sort of smooth out some of these other transitions. Something like this. Finish that. I'm going to sharpen this turn a little bit. Yeah, something along those lines. Oh, I'm not gonna fix this. Ooh, excuse me. I'm not gonna fix this curve yet because we still need to actually draw the wall there. So I don't know when the deep water will end and the normal water will begin until I finish that wall. But I will fix this curve. Actually, the last one that I'm, particularly worried about. There you go. Now the transitions between the types of water is just a little bit. Oh shoot! This high water is not smooth at all. Let's fix that. All right. Let me just fix some of these little pockets that are moving that water. Done. All right, perfect. All right, that transition looks good. There's a lot of water textures here, so it's definitely slow to load, but you export this as a single image and you're fine, So I think the water is mostly done. Oh, shoot. No, I forgot the high water there. All right, we can fix that once it finishes loading. All right. All right. There we go. Now that we have some of that semblance, let's go ahead and add the walls. The walls will probably take the longest part, but after that we'll have a proper plan. Oh, I might actually, before I do that, I might actually add the floor here and the stairs. How do I want to handle this? Do I want another pool of water? That'd be nice and thematic, but not really required. I think I'm going to do a single ladder instead of stairs. We're going to do a hole with a ladder in it. Yep. Do all your shading. Taking a chance to hydrate. Wow. Little ladders load. All right, where are my ladders? These are all stairs. Where are my ladders? Ladders. Come on. Come on, give me some ladders. Bro, there isn't a single ladder. Wait. There we go. Wow. Took a while to finally get to a ladder. But yes, let's use this. So here's a section with a ladder. And what I need is a black hole. So let's try hole or pit and see if we find something good. There we go. But these are all like manholes that are like iron. I kinda just want like a hole. There's a grave hole. Let's try a pit instead. If I can't find a pit, then I can darken a gray hole, and that would basically solve the... I'd basically do what I need. Nope, no pits. All right. Dark grave hole it is. More shading. More tinting. All right, that's going to be all the way down here. We're going to make it a nice square hole. That is not square. That's kind of square. Slightly less square. So like this. Let's make you dark. Wow. I kind of wanted something darker than this. It kind of works. Is there a darker version that I can use? Not really. We'll use this. I'm gonna put it here because it's gonna be like sort of like guardian section here. And we will want... I'm going to try to get some sandstone going on here. Because this area is going to be almost fundamentally different from the actual 4th floor proper. So let's see if we can find some sandstone to add here. Okay, there's a lot of options. This is not what I was hoping for. Maybe they want desert? Nope, those are all corpses. Oh, there's a cave section here we can use. But these are all cave walls and such. There must be a section that I'm missing. It's, is it textures? It must be textures. There it is, yeah. Yep, that's the one I want. I think I know what I want. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to try to find a standard. Let's see. Yes, we're going to add some marble. Now hear me out. We're going to do a bit of layering. Do we not want marble squares? I want to, yeah, there it is. Wait, is there a better way to do it? Yeah. All right, so here's some smoothed out black marble. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this stuff here. Because I realized that this is about to start covering a bunch of it. Something like this. The front, the front, the front, the front, and the front. And we're just going to remove these. All right. And then we'll eventually add, oh, I need this to be there too. Like so. All right. So now this floor acts like a cute little section. It's kind of a door. Let's add the perimeter. And I saw a bunch of cave walls that I want to use as the outer perimeter. Interesting. We're gonna go ahead and use some of the cave. We're gonna start with the underwater cave, since that's one's gonna have, I think, the coolest curves. And we're not going to focus, I think, too much about these because I really want to use these. And we'll just try to make sure we use a collection that roughly fits. And if it doesn't perfectly fit, we can always tweak the tiles as needed. So for this one, we're going to use just a generally straight curve. Like so. We'll reverse these a bit. Whoops. That's not what I wanted. There you go. Okay. Wait, I don't want to flip it vertically. Do I want to flip it horizontally? Wait, I don't think I wanted to flip it at all. Am I dumb? Oh, I think I am dumb. Yeah, there's no way I can actually make that work. I have to find a different way. I need a corner out. Ah! That's what I need. Alright, let's try this. And we can start merging these. Let's see. This will be a bit of a straightaway, actually. Yeah, let's use this. Jeez, this thing needs to be a bit wider. Let's narrow this down a bit. Yeah, that's a lot better. No. I need something that's kind of straight, but yeah, let's use this. Oh, whoops. Chose the wrong way. Gotta do a different way. Yeah, we'll take this one. Ooh. Gotta rotate this a bit. Yeah, there we go. And we'll take this. Too much. Alright. Let's send this dude a little bit further along. Perfect. Alright, and we're gonna get another big dead end here. Whoa. Definitely want the dead end to be around here. Yeah. That's massive. But I kind of like that. Because you can, it feels closer. Yeah, this is above. Perfect. Okay. This just needs to be something like this. Ooh. You can see a disconnect here that I'm going to try to fix while it loads all the shades. All right. Okay. And this wall needs to be perfectly straight. There is no way to make that straight. I need to actually curve it. Oh, will this work? I'll shrink it a little bit. No, that will not work. But I'm going to keep this for later because I like that tile. Okay, I need a corner out. Let's use this. Let's use this. Be just a little bit more precise. Then we can use this tile. I don't need to. Oh. Yo, Kinny-chan. Thanks so much for the raid. Howdy rowdy, all the Cub Scouts coming in. My name is Dryadmin. I give chill TTRPG content, some variety hype. You may have remembered me from, oh shit. Oh boy. Sneaky Panda Raid's coming in. There's the message. Hey there, Kita. Hope you're having a good weekend so far. So, people who have checked out Kinny before might remember me from, we did some It Takes Two collabs earlier this week. We're gonna see what the future holds for that collab. That's sort of the variety hype part of me. And now you're seeing the chill TTRPG content. The chill TTRPG part of what I like to do. Oh my gosh. Hi, Kinny. Thank you for the raid. I saw you were playing, let me give you a shout out too. I saw you were playing, shoot, you were playing that paper game, and you were playing the incomplete Swan, or unfinished Swan, I think. Here you go. Yeah, I'm stinky. But it was cool checking you play. Got some good goofs out. I'm in like my chill vibey mode right now. So I'm like less about that stank dank meme trolling. I'm just chilling right now. That's right. Also, how did your gunfire game go? You're doing those bird kicks. Were you still showing them your stinky feet? Kinny kept hopping around, all around you. Oh, damn, Kinny. She was schmooving on you. She was putting on the schmooze. But for anyone who's checking out this series, what I've been focusing on, because I don't have a group to play D&D with, though I would love to play D&D. For solo content, because I still want to go over some D&D tabletop RPG stuff, D&D specifically. I am doing a sort of map making challenge. I'm making this dungeon. It's gonna have 100 floors, a bunch of stuff, and every so often I go through a floor, design it, map it out, design the encounters, and go over the rules of the game and stuff like that. The idea that every so often I might, you know, have enough floors that it'll be fun to take a team of VTubers through it, just to show how the game works and stuff. It's sort of designed to take a set of characters from the start of the game. You don't know jack all about D&D, and it sort of teaches you the rules naturally. And so it just, you know, demonstrates that, you know, even if you don't know what to do and you're like, you know, Dryadmin, it's my, you know, first time being a DM. I literally bought the book off of a garage sale from a hooded figure in a dark cloak, and he told me it was cursed, but I didn't care. I paid him, you know, 2 donuts and a nickel for the Dungeon Master's Guide. I don't know how to actually play D&D. Well, I know a lot of people have that problem, and there are people who know the rules and talk about the actual, like, narrative side a lot better than I do, but there are a lot of people who also are very concerned about, like, making a map and stuff. Hell yeah. Kinny storytelling on point. And then there was a lot of fire. People who are concerned about, like, how to make maps and stuff. So I'm just showing, you know, how you do it. It's a little time consuming, but it can be relaxing, and anyone can do it. So it's not a problem at all. If you're not an artist, no problem. I'm not an artist. I can't draw to save my life. So if you notice a little disclaimer on the bottom of the map, this map art is created by the Forgotten Adventures. On my YouTube links for these, maybe Kinny. Maybe a lot of fire would say something about you, but I don't know what, though. I'm not quite a fortune teller. Hot Kinny? Well, maybe in a literal sense. I know she was steaming during the tower sequence, so at least in that scenario, she was literally boiling hot. But yeah, if you are curious about making maps, on my YouTube link for this stream and for the time lapses, I usually have a link to the Forgotten Adventures site, which is where I'm getting all the map assets that I am using to build these maps. And I'm building them all on Roll20. I have all the map assets uploaded to Roll20. I just use Roll20 to make the maps because it's cheap and free and everyone knows how to use it, or it's very simple for everyone to use. For more detailed map making, there's a lot of better tools for it, like map tools and stuff like that. But to do something easy and, you know, to show people that you can make a map pretty straightforward without going through so many extra loops, I wanted to do something simple. So this floor, we are focusing on NPC interactions. We're going to eventually have a little tribe of Merfolk here who will be friendly or mad at you based on whether or not you killed or ate their little crab friends, their little crab pets. And then an underwater segment where you will learn how underwater movement works. You might learn how underwater combat works, stuff like that. And also, if you are bad at swimming, you might learn how suffocation and drowning works. And so these are sort of the last sections of D&D, especially the NPC interactions, that we're going to be focusing on. After this, we hit the 5th floor, we do a little mini boss, and then that's, you know, 5 floors done, which is a good milestone. It's like a good adventure, you know? That's solid. So what we're doing now, we finished making up a little section for the Merfolk tribe area. It's not done, but we're getting there. We have this big underwater floor with a few different pockets that you can go to reach new sections of the map. And we have a... we're building the walls right now. We're building a cavern wall to cover the entire underwater section. And probably after that, I'll build a section for the little treasure room. And then probably I'll call it a day because we are doing another stream. Kinny and I and Dee are hanging out later today to play some party games. So I'm going to stream that. So we're close this stream a little early. And then we'll pick back up on it next time we play. And then we'll have, we'll finish the rest of the map at that time. Hell yeah. The party, I'm way hyped for the party. Kenny and I made a bet about the party mode. But no details. No details about it, though. That's a secret. You'll probably know by the end of the stream who will be embarrassed. And here's a hint. Ain't gonna be me. Because I'm so good at parties. I'm so fun at parties. Yes. We just finished adding this section, which I will detail a bit longer. Nah, I don't know about that. Maybe if it was a popularity contest, you'd win, but it's party games. It's games of skill. There aren't any party games that rely on a majority vote, right? Definitely not. Couldn't be us. Couldn't be my game. Couldn't be our bet. We need this to curve a little bit. I'd like for it to curve a little bit. Yeah, this perfect. So that was a corner in. Now we need a very sharp corner out like this. No, do not use the J word. Don't use a Jackbox word that relies on popular vote that we're almost definitely 100,000,000% playing. Why would you suggest that? Why would you suggest that? Why did I make that bet? I'm gonna lose. I'm gonna lose so bad. But I can't be deterred yet. I still have to finish this map, and then I can worry about dying in party games. Make this a bit more narrow. And probably a little less wide, because holy crap, this needs to curve. Alright, let's put you in the back. Ooh. Let's put you in the back. Like so. You in the front. Then you in the front. Alright, perfect. Now it's nice and layered. I know that for the stream, for the party stream, I think Detricha, who I'm also going to shout out right now, actually, because she's just an awesome person in general. And anyone who wants to check out the party stream later, that's going to be the link where it is, as well as probably my link. We'll see. I know that she's fairly open about, party games that are available. So if y'all have any suggestions for party games that we can play, then I bet as a group we'd be pretty amenable to it. Just don't suggest Jackbox or other games that rely on popularity contests, because my heart can't take it. We're going to need another dead end here. And we're going to keep this one pretty short. This is going to overlap actually quite a bit here. Yeah, like this. Perfect. So we're almost done with this cave section. Wait, actually, oh shit, I didn't see this. Okay, we're not even close to done with the cave section, rather. Oh, Kinny. As if there was ever any doubt, your team. You could at least pretend to be impartial. Can I make this? No. I definitely want a corner out, but I want a very soft corner out. See, this is a super harsh corner out. Wait, no, what? Yeah, I want a corner out. but like a subtle quarter out. Oh, I want this. I want a straight that bends just a little bit. Like this. Let's curve it a little more. There you go. That's good. And there's going to be another straightaway for a little while, so we'll use this one. We'll curve it outward a little bit. Okay. And then we'll take a straight here. No, we want a different straight. Not that one. Yeah, this one. All right, and this is going to be a corner out. This is a really sharp corner. I'm probably going to make that corner a little smoother with this. Let's use this corner out. Oh boy. I am gonna be happy after stream. Wow, this corner actually did stay pretty accurate. I'm kind of happy about that. I'm excited for post stream because I got a little tub of I got a tub of chocolate peanut butter ice cream. It has my name on it. That's gonna be my reward for finishing this section of the map. Do I want out? No, I want corner in. And I want a soft corner in like this one. Curve it a little bit. And then we'll want a straightaway. Yep. And so while I'm doing this map, it's, again, the purpose to just showcase some map making techniques you can use if you happen to play on, say, Roll20 and get these assets. But also, I love talking about D&D in general. If you got questions about D&D or want to share stories about it, that is absolutely my jam. See, it is a hollow victory of getting the party stream set up, because as a sacrifice, I had to the DM for another D&D campaign that I'm in, you know, between me and some private buddies from the forest, ended up getting canceled this weekend. Normally, I do D&D with some friends on Saturday evenings, but that one had to be put on a little bit of a pause this week. So that's why we're making up for it. And I'm very excited for that particular campaign because we are playing as a bunch of level 20 characters. So we are freaking gods. Yo, food. What'd you got? First off, what you got? And second, where's my share? All right? About to take a freaking 5-minute chicken break. Meatballs. Yo. A meatball sub sounds pretty tasty right now. I won't lie. This one we want another straightaway. Yes. We go all the way down and get a straight. Huh. Would that work? No. Yeah, we'll use this. You gotta have it with extra marinara sauce. You chop it small and snack on? That's cool. Is it like the Italian with marinara sauce? So you got like something else going on. The Swedish meatballs, IKEA style, which I've never had, by the way. I would literally go on a trip to IKEA just to figure out why the Swedish meatballs are so popular. Because they're really popular in IKEA for some reason. We can do a corner out here. I want to do like a soft corner out, like this one. Cover it a little bit. And then we'll do another straight. Just the meatball. So like no sauce? Isn't that kind of just like ground beef? Am I ignorant? Am I a fool? Am I a goober? Do I not understand the difference between a meatball and ground beef? It is possible. We'll use this. Yeah, we'll do that. I don't like that, actually. It doesn't quite mix. It's just a ball. If it's a ball of meat, isn't that... Well, I mean, I guess ground beef isn't, like, made into a ball. I guess even saucy meatballs are just ground beef. Don't judge me. Don't laugh at my culinary ignorance. Okay, this didn't work. I am second guessing on whether I want this corner out because it's such a sharp corner out. What if I really went even less sharp here? Something like this. And then I also made it smaller. Yeah, if I did this, a straightaway will probably be a lot easier to handle. Yep, I can do this. Boom. I also don't think it's beef. A meatball, it's not beef. What is it? Pork? Poultry? Fish? Fish beef. Fish. A fish meatball would just be sushi, wouldn't it? Culinary experts in the chat. Fish meatball. Is that just sushi? I look forward to a lively debate. Another straight one should work. Needs to be narrower. We'll grab this one. This is too long. Sushi. Gross. Man, I think you just picked a fight with like the entire VTuber community. You know how many weebs there are? Loving the sushi? Admittedly, I'm not a big fan of sushi. Is this all water? Yes, this is all water. The idea is you're in a deep underwater section, and the color of the water, the shade of the water helps to indicate how close the water is to the light. So this the darker the water is, the deeper it goes. So here you're in this giant vat of water that is like 50, 60 more deep. It's not pirates. It is Merfolk. And then as you get to brighter shades, this goes higher. So maybe the depth is closer to only like 40 or 50 feet. Goes back to a deep 60, 80 feet. And then it suddenly becomes very shallow here. So you have to like swim straight up to get here where the altitude's only like 20 or 15 feet. And then somewhere here I'm going to have an air pocket that you go into because this entire thing is submerged. So this whole place is submerged, and the idea is that you need to get to the pockets of air to do whatever objectives you have before you fucking drown. All right, so we're gonna need a corner in here. No, I don't need the corner in here. Before I do this wall, let me get to the other side of the wall, because when I get to this point, I need to actually turn this into a section of land that has air. I forgot to do that here. So we're just going to go ahead and start back on this wall, which we want a corner out. Let me look for a corner out. Not quite. Would this work? No. It wouldn't even work at all. Well, it could work. I haven't decided whether they're reverse mermaids or not. This is gonna be a bit of a standard setting for D&D. So you really just follow the mermaid in your heart. And you can decide how they want to be. All right, we'll do something like that. We're not following the rules of the walls perfectly. We don't need to. All right. Then we're going to try to straighten things up just a little bit. No, I want something that's not that. No, that's not that. The other side. No, not that. Okay, we'll take this. Oops. I opened it. Yeah, bring that here. Curve it just a little bit. And we're going to want another fairly straight one. Trying to keep the different cave wall tiles varied enough that the players won't notice that we are straight up copy pasting. But hey, it is all free assets, and you're making this game for your friends. If you're making this map, you're a DM, you're playing this game for with your friends for free, then no sayas allowed. No sayas allowed. Ooh, this is a long one. We can turn that a little more. And maybe shorten it just a little bit. And this water needs to go a little higher. Perfect. So we're just using a bunch of straightaways because this is a curve, but it's really, really soft curve. It is not a sharp curve at all. So we're just, we're using enough straight things that we kind of just naturally curve in the direction that we want. As long as we tilt things very slightly each time. All right. Yeah, let's use this wall. I'm gonna deviate from the curve a little bit. Or deviate from the little blueprint we made a little bit. We're gonna curve a little bit here. Oh, geez, it actually is pretty. That's actually still pretty close. Geez, I didn't even try to match it, but we got it anyway. Okay, where's the next straightaway? There it is. Okay, here we'll probably deviate a little bit. Let's see. need to shrink it a bit. Yeah, see here, we deviate a bit, which is fine. We need a corner out, which looks like this one. Could probably make this a bit bigger. Yep, that's about right. Ba-boom. All right. So we've gotten to the section that we were worried about before. We're almost done with the big cavern section. There is a wall here in the middle that I'm going to want to make, which I will worry about in a second. There's a bit of slowdown because I have so many different water tiles with different shades that it has to load it. So normally what you'll want to do to avoid the super load if you're making a big map like this, you make the big map, you zoom in to the level you want, you do some print screens, you save the whole thing to a single image, and then you just slap the image on your map and everything's covered, and you don't have to load a giant or 1,000 different textures at different shades each time. It makes it a lot easier on Roll20 if you are playing on this platform. Yeah, this particular stream is a little less on the rules and encounter design for D&D, and more just make it a cute looking map. I'm down with this. All right, let's go ahead and remove some of these because we're going to turn this into land, and I'm going to use the same texture that we used here. That's wrong. That's not what I wanted. That's what I wanted. Thank you. So let's just slap these here. And the idea behind these, once I actually get to the design section, is that this is going to be a little treasure cove for the crab friends. And what I'm thinking of doing here is basically give the crabs a cute little magic item. If the crabs like you, then you can take it and replace it with anything else that's shiny. So maybe it has a shiny magic item, or it's a platinum coin, and you take it, you replace it with a silver coin, which is about as shiny, and the crabs are like, whatever, it's shiny. They don't care how rare it is. And then if the crabs are mad at you because, I don't know, you killed them in the second floor, then they don't do that, and then they're mad at you. They try to eat you. All right, so first things first, this goes to front, and this goes to front as well. So we're going to go ahead and just do this real quick. This goes to front, this gets copied, this goes to back, so that I can slap that here. So now we have a proper sort of transition. Yeah, it's not 100% perfect, but it works for me. Now, where were we? We need to finish wrapping this around. So what I'm going to do is I could do a dead end, but instead I'm just going to do a bunch of corners out. Is it corner out I want? No, it's corner ins. Sorry. And that'll make things easier, I think. Yeah. So here's a corner in. I'm going to put this boy in. Okay, another corner in. Like so. And then we'll need a very, very sharp corner in for this little bit here. Let's see. Yeah, something like this. Finally get to use this particular tile. Oh, and I need to make this just a little bit bigger. This map section probably needs to move a little bit. There you go. Rotate this a little bit. Beautiful. All right, then another corner in. But this is actually a very soft curve. Maybe this one I want it straight away. Yeah, I want this. And then I'm going to have a very, very small little dead end section here. Is there a dead end in that I can use? Hello. There you go. Looks goofy as heck every time. I'm going to shrink that a little bit. I can do it. I can do it. I'm going to shrink this a little bit. I'm going to zoom in a little bit because I think there's a disconnect here. We're almost done. This is like the last bit. Oh boy. So many layers. Roll20's getting angry. Yeah, there's still quite a disconnect. If I set this to front and set this to front, that solves a little bit of the problem. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Let's raise this a little bit. Am I allowed to merge layers? I can group them. So I can group these two items, for example, if I shift it and group, and then I can move them all at once. But as far as processing goes, they're still processed as their own individual items. So it doesn't make Roll20 any happier. It just makes it maybe a little more simple to move around. That was not right. All right. But that's about as good as that gets. And like I said, it was going to be a pretty short stream because, man, I'm hungrier than I thought. So let's recap what we've done today. Let me just also throw this here to back. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Oh, shoot. To back. There you go. Oh, you also need to go back. Oh, wait, I don't want you to go back. To front? There you go. To back. And, no, shoot. No. Okay, so this needs to go to the back. This needs to go to the front, and this needs to go to the front. That's how I do it. I know. I'm a gamer. I can do this. Whoops. I should probably just send it sharply up. Front, and then I'm gonna bring this thing to front, this thing to front. Oh shoot. Yeah, you shouldn't be that strong. There you go. That's a better curvature. Okay, that's what I want. And then finally this finally I can pick this move there. Boom. Okay, there you go. That's what I wanted to do. All right. When we get in that sub button, we're getting that tomorrow. Tomorrow is my day off from streaming, and that'll give me an opportunity to make the new schedule, get affiliate working, stuff like that. I might be able to do a little bit of work on it. You might see it earlier if I manage to find time to push the big affiliate button later today, and then it's, you know, nice and easy and simple. We'll see how that works. All right. So recapping what we've done. We have, you know, talked a bit about the design and what the goal of this floor is. To introduce the NPC interactions, we're introducing kind of like a faction of NPCs, the sort of merfolk and the crabs that act as sort of their pets. And it's a tie-in to our second floor where you dealt with the crabs and the goblins that were hunting them. They're going to sort of act like two opposing forces. We can maybe use that later. We are also using those NPCs as a group to explicitly have like appropriate conversations. We're going to be introducing or teaching how you know, attitudes work and stuff like that. So in D&D, NPCs are typically either friendly, indifferent, or hostile towards any particular player. And the way that you perform role-playing or use your charisma can, in addition to eliciting whatever favors are needed, the actual role-play typically will impact, potentially, the attitude that the NPC has towards you. They fixed the Step 4 bug in Affiliate. Oh, that's good. Then hopefully we'll be able to get it sometime later tonight. That'd be very lucky. I'd be very happy about that. So yeah, we have that goal as far as NPC interactions go and teaching that. And we have all this big underwater section, which also, you know, gives us a way to have the players escape to floor 2, teaches them suffocation and drowning, teaches them how underwater combat works. You know, if the merfolk are hostile, then they're going to fight them, and they're going to fight them in the water too. So they're going to get, you know, stabbed, and they're going to learn how that feels. And yeah, just a little bit of exploration. I plan to have some other cool bits here on the docket for next week when we continue this map. We need to make a wall section for this conclave and probably update it a little bit. We're going to make a wall here and then add a bunch of NPCs and other cool map features. And that would probably be the rest of floor 4. After that, we have our big mini boss at floor 5, which will be really exciting. As I mentioned before, I'm doing another stream later tonight, and if you are interested in more D&D floor map making streams, then on the YouTube link, I have a time lapse that I'm going to be making, and also there's going to be a VOD for this. You can take a look at the I made some polls and forms that you can fill if you have any suggestions for what you want to see in a D&D floor, or any questions about D&D or TTRPGs in general, or almost anything. If you want to shoot me a question, it's over on those YouTube links. All right. In the meantime, I want to thank Kinny again for the raid. Here's another shout out in case you hadn't seen it before. And here's another shout out for Detricha Love, who will be joining Kinny and I on the party game extravaganza later tonight. And we're going to find someone to raid. Let's see. Ooh, Mona Office Demon is streaming Super Mario Odyssey right now. And she is chill. She's cool. She was doing a cool charity stream a little while ago. Oh, Kinny. You have a suggestion? Well, if you got a suggestion, then how can I refuse? Oh, thanks, Kita. Thanks so much. The D&D map making is definitely one of those like chill, relaxing streams, kind of like an art stream. You don't, it's not super hype, wow, poggers as other streams, but Sometimes it's nice to dial back and just dick around a little bit for a few hours. Oh, one of your friends is playing D&D? Okay, well, now I gotta do it. All right, let's go ahead and do a quick shout out. Kiwi. Ah, you are absolutely right. Then absolutely, let's go ahead and give her a raid. What's gonna be our raid message? Let's go ahead and we'll do a D&D theme. We'll do a cheesy pun. We're gonna do raid for initiative. So here's gonna be our raid message. Go ahead and copy that in. And there we go. Feel free to bully a little bit, but not a lot, because they might be busy with D&D stuff. Really into in-character stuff. But yeah, please fill out those forms, and I'll catch you maybe later tonight, maybe on Monday. We'll see what happens, and maybe I'll be affiliate. That'd be cool. All right, peace out, Cub Scouts.